John, you're on that side of the counter, if you like it, in this new structure. What would your advice be to Māori, and how can they become engaged?
Well, I mean, the councils are still obligated to engage with Māori communities directly, other than just this Māori Statutory Board, and we still have to continue to do the things within the existing framework. So dealing directly with iwi, dealing directly with Māori communities, and there's been a whole lot of good work that Māori community have done at a real local level, and it's really critical that that doesn't get lost, especially that those Māori communities are now being faced getting split into local boards. And so what's really critical is that how we got to engage with Māori community is from that Māori community's perspective, not through these local board things, because the Māori population of Waitakere now is getting split into 3 local board areas. Manako's been split into about 4 local board areas, but within that you've got Papakura, who has 28% Māori, Manirewa, who's 27% Māori. So we actually have to develop not just a blanket approach to engagement, we have to really get sophisticated on how we get into and work with those Māori communities. And I think certainly one of the other key elements is ensuring that rangatahi have a voice. And that's a clear message that's coming from rangatahi. There's a rangatahi that was sitting on the Taumata Runanga Māori Standing Committee at Waitakere, and that was the concern that he laid. And so it's really ensuring that within the Māori voice, there's multiple voices that need to be heard, and it's really about how does the new organisation respond to that, and working together, I guess, in terms of at a local board level with the councillors and certainly the influence of iwi and Māori. So that's the challenge of how we bring this jigsaw puzzle together and get into a cohesive way of how we're going to work. From an organisational perspective, one thing that this amalgamation brings is having, if you like, 1 Māori department as opposed to 8. And with that brings some cohesiveness and opportunities to how we can work to serve the organisation alongside our community. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. And for me, it's like, I guess, I'm lucky in a sense that being Ngāti Tiata, my people have been here for 1,000 years. And I feel really privileged that as a Haukainga person, I'm in the role that I'm in. There's a number of Haukainga people that are working in the department, and then it's looking at the next 1,000 years, if you like, but certainly staging things through and getting the things right that we have to. Because other than working for the council, I've got people like Auntie Naniko that I have to ensure that, I guess, the values that we operate continue. Yeah. So,
Jasmine, how do you think that we can achieve better engagement between Māori and the council and vice versa?
I think the council needs to really work on its communication with its public, because at the end of the day it is the community that they're serving. So if they build a better relationship and build that communication, then it will be reciprocated back, rather than people just feeling like, oh, okay, it's shoved in our face, or you've already made the decision. It needs to be like a combined process, whereas the community feel like they're actually informing the decisions, and that the decisions that are made on their behalf, rather than for the benefit of those on the council.
Scotty?
I was just reading what are those anyway? Are those are they tweets or something? But I'll just say, look, Len Brown, you're the super city mayor now. Do something super. Sometimes in order to do the right thing, you have to go against what the majority opinion is. The right thing to do is to put Māori seats on the council. So get your team of advisors around, work out how you're going to do it, put your po in the whenua, and say, we're going to have the Māori seats. I'm the super mayor, you've elected me, this is what I'm going to do. And this is how we're going to do it. And, that's going to take a lot of courage. And as I said, it's going to go against the majority opinion, but that's the right thing to do. Having a referendum is only going to return a no result. And he's talking about a referendum that's only going to return a no result. So do something super. Put the po in the whenua and just do it. That's what I would do. And that's what I would want him to do. Not having Māori seats excludes Māori. Having Māori seats doesn't exclude Pākehā. And that would be what I would say to him.
Sandra.
I think that the challenges for our people to take a set of terms of reference, if you like, as a wero to this new mayor and all the elected representatives, to put in place a constitutional commitment that would include a commitment to Māori seats and representation, an ongoing commitment to the treaty, a full, meaningful recognition not just of tangata whenua, but also the fact that this is the largest Māori and Polynesian, they are our cousins, city, region now on earth, that we seek full compliance with every reference to the treaty and every statutory act that they give effect to, including the Resource Management and Conservation Act, Public Works Act and all that jazz, and that the dialogue is prescribed in a way that ensures that any statutory board does not become a captive whaling wall and a recommendatory body, but rather that the council prescribe very clearly how they will actually give real effect to the advice and recommendations and political decisions that come forth from that board. So they, as I say, you could knock that off in a week. All it takes is a will. It's a question of putting down the challenge and testing the will.
What a great place to leave it. Thank you all very much for coming in this afternoon. I thought when I first heard that it was going to be 90 minutes that it wouldn't fly so fast, but it has. And yeah, thank you very much for your participation and contribution, and also thank you to the audience. We managed to get a few questions in there. Thank you also for your participation and your and for coming along as well. So kia ora tātou katoa, and a big round of applause please for our guests. And kei a koe.
Kia ora tātou. E te atua ka harawa. Tēnei mā te takamoimi te tunei ki a koe i tēnei wā. Mā waika mōhio. Hoi anō e mihi atu nei ki ngā rangatira. E pupū mai i roto tā rātu nei hinengaro. Rātu nei whatu manawa. Ngā whakaaro, ngā kōrero rangatira. E pāna kia ngai tāua te wi Māori i roto tāmaki makaurau. Nā re te atu ahakoa e hoki whakamori i a rātou ngā tūpuna onomata, i a rātou pakanga, a rātou nei mahi, e pēnei tonu ana, e mahi tonu ana, e whawhai tonu ana tātou. Hoi anō e te atua, ko mārama pai ki a mātou, kei kone te kaupapa tino nui rawa kei wainguni a mātou. I runga i tērā, ka inui anō ki a koe, ki te aki pai e mātou, tu wāka hoki ei mātou ki tō kāinga. Tēnei ka tuku atu te rangatira nei ki a Shane, i ona mahi a rangatira, hei arahi te kaupapa nei, i runga te tika te pono, me te māramatanga o tēnei kaupapa, i runga toinga tapu, ake, āmine. Kia ora tātou. Good night.